I have been really enjoying riding my ZX-10 for the past few weeks. I've got about 500 miles on it. There are two little things that are really kind of bugging me about this bike, and I want to explore those today and share what I've learned with you. So stick around and find out what we've got going on the ZX-10. Okay, so let's first start out with the rider geometry on the ZX-10. I mentioned it from the moment I got on this bike, it felt different than the ZX-6. And now I kind of know why. So the bike itself is, an inch or two longer, it's a little bit taller, but that really isn't what the problem is. It's really the rider triangle. And so let's have a look at the bike and let me try and explain what I'm talking about as it applies to how your body is positioned on the bike when you ride it. Okay, so I think I've kind of worked out where the problem is from a geometry standpoint. Like I've said over and over, I don't think it's very significant. It's really subtle, the difference. But let's just kind of focus on the rider triangle. Both bikes are set up the same way. They're over on their side stand, but I think this will be a good measurement and you can kind of see where the differences are. So if I measure from the foot peg to the end of the bar, I get roughly 29 inches, right? If I measure the same from the foot peg to the bar end here, I get about 30 and a half inches. So it's an inch and a half further forward from your feet, which kind of makes a big difference. And then if I measure from the foot peg to the bottom of the seat, you'll see that's 15 inches. And over on the ZX-10, if I measure the same distance, it's about 14 and a half inches. So your feet are about a half inch higher and you're an inch and a half further forward on the reach. So from a comfort standpoint, excuse me, I think it's just subtle and it's different and it's not uncomfortable. I've ridden the bike a little over 500 miles now and I don't think it's significant. I've gotten used to it, but you can definitely feel it when you're riding the bike. The ZX-6 just is a little more comfortable. But both bikes, you get pretty tired after about an hour on each bike. So not significant there, but I do think I've kind of worked out what's been bugging me about this bike. And it's partially that seating position, which is just a little bit different. The bike is obviously taller, but if you're just focused on where your feet and hands are, the ZX-10 is slightly different and it's noticeable. So, all right, so let's get into why I think I'm struggling a little bit with this bike, and it's probably going to surprise you a little bit. Okay, so you can see that the rider triangle is slightly different, and that was the initial problems I was facing when I got on this bike. Probably the more significant issue, though, is how it feels when you're riding. What I've discovered is that at slow speed, so first, second, third gear up to say 45 miles an hour, the engine's a little choppy. So let's hop on the bike. Let me kind of demonstrate this for you so you can hear it and feel what I'm feeling a little bit. And maybe it'll make a little more sense why I'm a little frustrated with this motorcycle. Okay guys, I'm going to start out on the 636. I really want you to pay attention as much as you can, as much as comes through my helmet, the sound of the motor. So, I think you're going to hear a little bit of a difference. So this is kind of a little high revving to me. Alright, so typically third gear. So I don't know how much you can hear the motor. But this is 30 miles an hour in third gear. This seems pretty normal to me. It's pretty smooth. The motor sounds very consistent. And, you know, this is what I'm normally expecting. The rider geometry aside, this is how I'm expecting to feel the motor. So we're gonna go down. I'll do a full acceleration through those gears so you can hear the differences, and then we'll jump on the ZX-10 and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But to me, this is the ideal sound, the ideal feel of the bike. And I really want that to be the point. Here we go. And that's what it sounds like. And there you go. Just like that. Just overall a smoother product. So let's hop on the ZX-10 and see what that sounds like. Okay guys, so I'm on the ZX-10. I really want you to kind of focus on the engine sounds, and let's try and take the same kind of route that I took earlier. Now just accelerating is fine. Alright, so now I'm in third gear. I'm going to crank her down to 30-ish miles an hour. Now I'm not sure if you can hear that. And it's not it's cold engine right now, so it's not as prevalent when it's colder. But really this bike likes to be in second gear for up to 30. But just not as smooth in slow speed situations. When it's on the highway or you're going over 45 miles an hour, it's much better. It's much better, much smoother, and I have no complaints at highway speeds. Whenever you're going really fast, it's or accelerating, it's great. Bike's warm now, so you should be able to hear the difference. Right there, you hear that? That's the noise I'm talking about. It's just kind of choppy. Doesn't feel that bad, you know, but I can hear it and it's driving me crazy. So it seems real touchy. Like, see, I put it in third gear, now it's fine. But seems really touchy on what gear you need to be in for how fast you're going, and that's a big difference from what I'm used to. Both the Ninja 1000 and the 636, they don't really care what gear you're in. ZX-10, evidently, it makes a pretty big difference. Again, I'm not trying to shit all over the ZX-10. It's just different. I'm not a big fan of that, the way that engine spins, and maybe it is related to the pipes being on, you know, the new exhaust. So I mean, you know, hopefully a tune, if they ever crack the ECU, will be effective. See any cops? It sounds great. it's all good. All right, well, back to the garage. Okay, so hopefully that helps illustrate the couple of issues I'm having with the ZX-10. I'm not going to spend much time on this in the future because I really just want to focus on riding the bike and having fun with the bike. I'm having a great time with it. I don't want to let this tarnish the bike, but I've been kind of complaining about it. It's why I don't love the bike, and I really feel like these two issues, you know, the rider geometry thing you get used to, the sputtering or the choppiness of the motor at low speeds, I don't think that's going to be solved anytime soon. I think probably the best chance I have is that a ECU crack will happen in the next few months, and then we'll be able to send in our ECUs for a tune. Outside of that, I mean, there's really nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to put the stock pipes back on. I'm not going to pay for the race ECU, which is thousands of dollars, and it disables, makes it unstreetable. So street riding is what I really like to do. I may take it to the track someday, but really, there's really no choice here other than to just wait for an ECU flash, and or possibly putting a full exhaust on might help it a little bit. It's probably mostly related to the exhaust change I made and the different air-fuel ratio. But anyway, I'd be curious to know what you guys think. I'm hoping this video won't be very long, so you know, ask me whatever questions you have in the comments, or tell me what your experience has been with the 2021 ZX-10, or maybe even a Gen 5 or Gen 4. I'd be curious to know if that sputtering exists, and maybe it's just the, you know, the engine size that it's just natural with that motor. Anyway, guys, if hopefully you liked this video, hopefully you learned something. You know, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, give me a like, and leave whatever comments you want under this video. I just got back from vacation, so I haven't posted a video in a while, so hopefully you can forgive that. I have a whole bunch of videos coming up for the 636, the ZX-10, and I'm even going to get out on the Goldwing and give a little review on that. So anyway, till next time, guys, thanks for watching.